Let me tell you something. There's a question I keep seeing everywhere nowadays. Why are so many celebrities choosing Islam? Athletes, actors, musicians, influences, you name it. Every other month, someone in the spotlight is announcing they converted to Islam, or they're reading the Quran, or they're saying they finally found peace in a faith they once misunderstood. And people are confused. Some folks think it's a trend. Some people think it's just for attention. Some even think these people lost their minds. But I don't think so. I think something much deeper is going on. I think the world is waking up. Because let's be real, this world we live in now, it's loud, it's fake, it's a constant show. Fame has become a drug. Social media destroyed people's souls. Everybody is performing for the camera. Everybody is pretending to be happy, and nobody has peace. And then suddenly you see somebody famous, somebody who already has money, status, millions of followers, walk away from all that noise and say, I found Islam. I found peace. I found God. And that right there makes people stop and think. Because if fame and money were truly the answer, why would anyone still be searching? I'll tell you why. Because fame is like eating sugar. Sweet at first, kills you slowly. You think these celebrities are living perfect lives, but behind the spotlight there's depression, addiction, failed marriages, anxiety, loneliness, self-doubt. Look at Hollywood. Half the people who made it ain't happy. They're begging for purpose. They're desperate for direction. And Islam, whether you like it or not, gives people something modern life can't. Clarity, discipline, meaning, a direct connection to God. And I've seen it myself over the years. I've met athletes and entertainers behind closed doors, big names, guys you would never expect. And I'm telling you straight, when the cameras are off, a whole lot of them are broken. They got everything but feel like they got nothing. And when they start looking for the truth, really searching, not that horoscope nonsense, not meditation, TikToks, I'm talking real truth. They keep coming across Islam because Islam doesn't sugarcoat life. It doesn't play with God. It doesn't bend just because society is changing. It doesn't try to fit people's desires. Nah. Islam tells the truth, whether you like it or not. Islam says life is a test. Islam says you will struggle. You will fall. You will be tested with loss, pain, temptation, ego. But if you hold yourself together, pray, stay grateful, stay disciplined, you'll make it. That message hits deep, especially for people who reached the top of the world and still felt empty. That's why you see names like Mike Tyson, a man who had everything, now saying Islam saved his life. You see boxers like Sonny Bill Williams, musicians like Napoleon from Tupac's Outlaws, UFC fighters like Khabib Nurmagomedov talking about faith with more power than any championship speech. You see Andrew Tate, whether you love him or hate him, say straight up, Islam is the last strong religion left on earth. And I'm telling you, more are coming because deep down, every person, celebrity or not, wants one thing, peace of mind. See, people think celebrities choose Islam because it gives them rules or structure. But that ain't the whole truth. It's not just the discipline, it's the simplicity. Islam doesn't give you a mystery God. It doesn't give you confusion. It tells you exactly who God is and exactly who you are. You're not God. You're not the center of the universe. You're a creation with a purpose to worship, to do good, to speak truth, to take care of your family, to stay humble, to be grateful. When celebrities hear that, it hits them in a way nothing else does. Because their whole lives, people treat them like gods. Islam reminds them you're human. And that's why they break down. That's why they cry. That's why they walk away from the fake life and start praying, fasting, learning. Because Islam gives them what fame never could, inner peace. Now, I'm going to be real with you, because if we're going to talk about why so many celebrities are choosing Islam, we got to go deeper than just names and headlines. We got to go behind the cameras, behind the interviews, behind the PR-approved statements. We got to step into the room where the truth lives. The kind of truth people don't post online. And I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've looked these people in the eyes, the millionaires, the champs, the actors, the household names, and I've seen the emptiness. I've seen the pain they hide better than any movie performance. I've seen how loneliness creeps into people who thought success would save them. But let me tell you how I learned this lesson. step by step. Because it didn't come to me through some theological debate or internet argument. No, sir. Life taught me this lesson years ago when I first started meeting powerful people. Hollywood folks, sports legends. I used to wonder why the room always felt heavy, why people with the world at their feet look spiritually tired. See, money and status let you do anything, but that's exactly the problem. When nobody tells you no, you start to drown in your own desires. You start ruining your life without even knowing it. Every night becomes a party. Every day becomes a new distraction to hide from what your soul is screaming about. Something is missing, and that's where Islam keeps showing up. See, Hollywood gives you fame. Fame gives you temptation. Temptation gives you destruction. Destruction sends you searching. And that search again and again keeps leading people to Islam. I remember a night in Dubai. I won't drop names. I'm not here for gossip. But let's just say a major athlete was there. World champion level. The kind of name you recognize instantly. People everywhere showing him love. Some worshiping him like he walked on water. But late that night, in a quiet corner away from all the noise, he looked me in the eye and said something that stuck with me forever. Tony Robbins, I'm surrounded by people, but I'm alone. I'm winning, but I don't feel like I'm winning. I conquered the world, but I still don't have peace. I envy Muslims. They pray and it centers them. They have structure. They have purpose. They have peace. I've never had that. I didn't know what to say at first. I mean, what do you tell somebody who already has everything but feels like they're losing that life? But I understood exactly what he meant, because peace, you can't buy it. You can't take a vacation to go find it. You can't order it online. Peace is a gift from God. And Islam, through prayer, through discipline, through surrender, it teaches you how to receive that gift. So when people ask me why Islam, I tell them this because Islam teaches you how to master yourself before life destroys you. Look at the 5 daily prayers. They're not about ritual. They're about control. Control over your time, control over your desires, control over your ego. You step away from the world 5 times a day just to remember you came from God and you're going back to God. That hits different when you've wasted years worshiping fame. And then there's fasting in Ramadan. Let me tell you something. Only a selfish person laughs at fasting. Only someone who never suffered thinks discipline is pointless. Because fasting ain't about food. It's about strength. It's about learning that you don't have to be a slave to your body. Famous people, most of them are slaves. Slaves to their addictions, slaves to lust, slaves to ego, slaves to fear. Islam breaks those chains. And when these celebrities see Muslims fasting, not just from food, but from ego, anger, arrogance, they start thinking, man, I need that kind of strength in my life. Look at what happened with Mike Tyson. He said straight, Islam gave him discipline. Islam saved him from himself. He went from chaos to control. That ain't a coincidence. That ain't hype. That's real life. And trust me, when a man at war with his own mind finds peace in a religion, other people notice. They start asking questions. They start reading. They start searching. And sooner or later, faith grabs them. But peace isn't the only reason celebrities choose Islam. No, there's another reason nobody wants to talk about truth. Islam is the last faith that doesn't water itself down for anybody. It doesn't change the message just because Hollywood won't like it. It doesn't compromise just to look modern. Islam tells you exactly what's right and what's wrong, and it doesn't apologize for it. That level of honesty, that level of courage, that level of moral clarity in this fake world is rare. And rare things attract people who are tired of lies. But here's the real kicker. Islam gives you something that modern life tries to erase. Family, faith, brotherhood, sisterhood, community. That's why you see celebs walk into a mosque and cry. Not because of the chandeliers, not because of the carpets, but because of the unity. Rich or poor, famous or unknown. When you stand in prayer, everybody is equal. Shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, one God, one direction, one purpose. And after spending their whole life in a fake world, those celebrities feel something real for the first time. I remember watching Khabib after he beat Conor McGregor. People thought that fight was about violence. No, it was about faith. Khabib stood there humble. No chains, no arrogance, no profanity, no ego, just discipline, just belief, just honor, The whole world was watching. And what did he say? Alhamdulillah. He thanked God. That was it. The moment changed everything. Millions saw a Muslim man who didn't break under pressure because Islam kept him steady. That inspired people more than any book ever could. And let's not forget Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. A fighter in the ring, but a warrior in life. A man who gave up everything, titles, money, comfort, just to stand for truth. He didn't choose Islam to be popular. In fact, it cost him everything. He chose Islam because he found truth. He said it himself. Everything I do now, I do to please God. And I'll tell you what, that line right there has guided millions. So why are celebrities accepting Islam? Because they're tired of lies. Because they tasted everything this world had to offer and still felt empty. Because they're finally discovering what Muslims knew all along. Real success is in having the world as having peace with God. Now, let me take this conversation somewhere real, somewhere human. Because a lot of people still don't understand something important about Islam and why so many celebrities are drawn to. People think celebrities wake up one day and say, oh, Islam looks cool, let me try that. No, it's not a trend, it's not a fashion, it's not a hashtag moment. Islam shows up when life breaks a person into pieces and nothing else can put them back together. Pain will make you search for God. And Hollywood has a lot more pain than people think. See, when your name becomes famous, you stop belonging to yourself. Your life becomes a product. Your smile becomes customer service. Your talent becomes controlled by contracts. Your image becomes a prison. People don't love you. They love the character they built in their head about you. You become addicted to fake love because you don't know where to find real love anymore. Slowly, you lose yourself. But that right there, that breaking point, that's where Islam walks in. Because Islam doesn't just tell you who God is, it tells you who you are. It tells you that you're not here by accident. It tells you God chose you on purpose, with purpose. Islam doesn't flatter your ego, it fixes your soul. And that's exactly why you see celebrities, people who can buy anything, finally walk into an masjid and feel something they never felt in mansions. Humility, peace, sincerity, no cameras, no status, no celebrity section, just men and women bowing to their creator, equal before God. And for a heart that's been starving for truth, that moment is life-changing. You want proof? Look at Cat Stevens, now known as Yusuf Islam. He had everything a man could want. Fame, money, success, songs playing all over the world. He almost drowned in the Pacific Ocean, cried out to God and survived. That moment broke the illusion. He searched until he found Islam. And when he found it, he said that was the first time he truly lived. He walked away from music at his peak because Islam taught him that truth is worth more than applause. You want more proof? Look at French Montana. A kid from Africa who rose in the rap world, saw all the madness that comes with fame, and still stood firm on his deen. He filmed music videos, signed record deals, but he never stopped praying. He never stopped bowing to the one who gave him success. He went to Mecca. He visited orphans. He fed the poor. And when asked why, he said, because Islam keeps me grounded. Fame didn't steal his soul because Islam protected it. Then there are stories like Napoleon from Tupac's Outlaws. That man came from a world of violence, pain, trauma, lost people he loved, surrounded by chaos. He found Islam and turned his whole life around. He didn't just change his behavior, he changed his heart. Islam saved him from a life that was destroying him. And let's not forget Khabib Nurmagomedov. You know why that man became a global icon? Not because he was undefeated, not because he smashed people in the octagon. He became a legend because he showed the world what happens when success meets humility. When power bows before faith. When victory belongs to God, not ego. One of the greatest athletes alive. And not once did he forget to say Alhamdulillah. That shook the world. That made people look at Muslims differently. Suddenly faith looked powerful. Discipline looked beautiful. Islam looked real. And here's what most people don't want to admit. Islam gives men their strength back and gives women their honor back. That's why so many celebrities, especially the ones who lost everything inside, keep coming toward it. Islam doesn't ask you to fake perfection. It teaches you how to struggle with sincerity. It teaches you how to fight your ego, how to master your soul, how to stand in front of God without shame, even if you made mistakes. Because in Islam, your past doesn't define you, your repentance does. And today, right now, there are actors reading the Quran in their hotel rooms. There are musicians learning how to pray behind closed doors. There are supermodels wearing hijab in private just to see how it feels. There are rappers silently making dua between studio sessions. They may not be ready yet, but they're already on the journey because Allah calls hearts long before the mouth says shahada. And let me tell you this, Islam is not spreading in Hollywood because of Muslims. It's spreading because of truth. Truth is magnetic. Truth is powerful. Truth is undeniable. And when someone takes it, they don't care what the world thinks anymore. So why are so many celebrities choosing Islam? Because money couldn't save them. Fame couldn't heal them. Success couldn't guide them. But Islam did. And we're just getting started. Now, let me wrap this up by saying something I've learned watching all of this happen. Watching celebrities quietly pick up the Quran. Watching athletes kneel and put their head to the ground after a victory. Watching people who had everything turn around and say, I needed God more. It made me realize something powerful. Truth always wins in the end. See, they tried to bury Islam for years. They tried to twist it, distort it, make people fear it. They made movies, painting Muslims like villains. They built news stories out of lies. They used politics to turn people against it. They mocked it. They attacked it. They called it backwards, extreme, violent, even though a real Muslim is none of those things. They tried everything to shut it down. But you can't bury what comes from God. You can't cancel the truth, and now it's happening right in front of the world. Islam is spreading faster than ever, and ironically, it's happening in the very place that tried to destroy it. Right inside Western media, right inside Hollywood, right inside professional sports. Because here's what they didn't expect. The people they thought had everything were actually the most lost. And when lost people finally get tired of pretending, tired of being numb, tired of needing pills just to sleep, tired of going to therapy just to survive, guess what? They start searching for peace, purpose, God. And you can't find God in a nightclub. You can't find peace in a mansion. You can't find purpose in fame. You can't find truth in a bottle. So they pick up that Quran, they walk into a masjid, they watch a Muslim pray, and something inside them moves. Something inside them says, finally, this is real. Islam doesn't need a rebrand. Islam doesn't need a PR team. Islam doesn't need celebrities to promote it. Islam stands on truth alone. But when those celebrities discover it, they become living proof of a reality people can't ignore anymore. Islam works. It brings order to chaos. It brings clarity to confusion. It brings hope to broken souls. It brings success with humility. It brings peace during pain. It brings strength without arrogance. It brings family back together. It brings people back to God. And let me say this, Islam ain't a religion built for perfect people. It's for people who are trying. People who fall, get back up, and still say, God, I need you. Celebrities ain't converting because they're holy. They're converting because they're human. So if you're watching this right now, maybe you're not Muslim. Maybe you've got your doubts. Maybe you're curious but hesitant. That's fine. You ain't got to rush into nothing. But don't let social media, politicians, or Hollywood scripts tell you what Islam is. Learn it for yourself. Don't judge a billion people without spending at least 1 hour being fair. Read for yourself. Listen for yourself. Watch people who live it. You don't have to be Arab to be Muslim. You don't have to change your culture, your skin color, your language, none of that. Islam ain't about race, ain't about nationality, ain't about ethnicity. Islam is about truth. Islam is about worshiping the one God without partners, without confusion. Islam is about living with purpose, walking with discipline, speaking with honesty, giving to the poor, loving your parents, protecting your family, keeping your heart clean even in a dirty world. That's why it's growing. That's why celebrities are joining. That's why Islam will never die, because truth don't die. So yeah, people can keep asking, why are so many celebrities choosing Islam?